Hey, hey. Sorry about that. Move the camera. Uh, I think it looks better, but I don't like where it's at nearly as much. Also, I have slightly moved a couple things around. Um, yeah. That being said, this is number 38, or in Spanish, 3080. I don't know. I don't. As far as counting in Spanish goes, like once I get to like 10, I'm done. German, I can go to about 20. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben. You know, uh, French, I could do a little better at. Although, like numbers like 30, you forget. Like, I know there's no 80 in French. It's quatre-vingt. I don't know why I do that like it's Italian. It's quatre-vingt. But then in Canadian, it's huître. Huître. That's why I didn't have the fucking thing over there, because I always talk with my hands. Yeah. Probably not gonna last, because this shit's gonna be annoying. Yeah. Damn it. It does look better there, though, to be honest. Problem is, it's in the way of my mouse, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing this a lot. Which means you get more of a profile. Yeah. Yeah. That'll work better. All right. Now, sadly, I did not get 100% prepared. Uh, so let me find something first. Uh, all right. Got my happy story. Just going by the headline. All right. Also, why, yes, I am wearing a scrub top. Uh, in case anyone thought it was a girl's like V-neck or something, because it does look rather feminine. It's because it's a scrub top. And no, this is actually a man's scrub top, shockingly, or a unisex one. Generally, I don't mind wearing women's scrubs for the tops, which those are the ones that are more noticeable, because with the exception of sometimes like at the pocket, they'll like put these little like studs or like sparkly things. Like, come on, dude. Ain't nobody trying to be fucking pretty while they're nursing or doctoring or whatever the fuck it is that you're wearing scrubs for. But to all the ladies out there who are forced to wear scrubs or choose to wear scrubs, no judgment, get men's scrub pants. Now, I understand women's jeans have no fucking pockets. At least no pockets that you can fit anything in, which is complete fucking horseshit. But who's the fucking genius that decided fucking nurses don't need fucking pockets in their scrub pants? Like, really? Really? That's some fucking bullshit right there. So, the men's pants that I have, so far superior. Like, I've got a tablet, right? Pretty decent sized tablet. You're not getting this in your scrub pants. You're not. Now, in your top, yeah, It fits. Your pants? Not if you got ladies' pants. You got men's pants? Yeah. Apparently they don't think women take notes. Or they take little tiny notes. Although I have read that women do write smaller than men. But I believe that is because girls pass notes in school. And they write them small so people can't read over their shoulder. That's my theory. I could be wrong. But I'm not. Anyways. Now, unfortunately, I am going to start off with sad news. There are 5 famous people, celebrities, who have passed in the month of February 2023. So, in no specific order, Burt Bacharach. A lot of you in your mid to late 30s, possibly a little older, will recognize him from Austin Powers. What the world needs now. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, Burt Bacharach. Sadly, I don't know if he wrote that song or not, but he was 94 years old, right? Do you know the way to Santa Fe? Dude won some Grammys, won some Oscars. Walk On By was one of them. Natural causes, 94 years old. Over the past 70 years, only Lennon, McCartney, Carole King, and a handful of others. Why even list it that way? Anyways, he had top 10 hits from the 50s all the way into the 21st century. Lots of people have covered his songs. Alfie, I Say a Little Prayer, I'll Never Fall in Love, This Guy's in Love with You. He said his favorite interpretation was done by Dionne Warwick. But Elvis, Aretha, Dusty Springfield, Tom Jones, Beatles, Frank Sinatra, everybody. Ashanti, the White Stripes, and Twista. Okay. And of course, Cyndi Lauper. He had a wonderful life, a wonderful career, and 94 years old, absolutely. Hope he is resting. Richard Belzer, good, funny comedian. If I'm telling a lie, call me out on it. But I do believe he is the one who sued Hulk Hogan. When on a talk show, he was like, so can you show me a wrestling move? And he's like, sure, chokehold. And he's like, hey, Richard, yep. And he lets go, and he just goes, boom, smacks his head, gets some stitches, right? Yeah, Mr. T was being a dick on that, but, he was in character. Dude's done everything, literally everything. Most people know him from Law and Order or Homicide. The Hollywood Reporter said he had lots of health issues. Yeah, it was. It was his show Hot Properties. Billy Crystal, tweeted out that he was simply hilarious, a genius at handling the crowd. Um, uh, sad, sad, sad. Now, here's one that saddens me. The great, the amazing, the irreplaceable Raquel Welch. Welch. She is everything they pretend Marilyn Monroe was and more. Just fantastic. Talented, intelligent, beautiful, funny, humble. Anyways, Raquel Welch, whose real name was Jo Raquel Tejada, was born in Chicago, the older sister to James and sister Gail. Her ancestry is from John Quincy Adams all the way to Carlos Tejado Urquizo, a Bolivian. I know here in America, we hear a Hispanic name and we assume Mexican. At least in lately, and especially in many parts of the country. We always forget there's a lot of other countries. In fact, Puerto Rico, I honestly grew up with more Puerto Rican friends than Mexican friends. But I also grew up, the time in the States was mostly in the Northeast. So there's that. She started out as a weather girl. Her death was not under suspicious causes. Her death was under a mysterious cause. They said it was a brief illness, although many are suspecting that it was a terminal illness at being hid, which again, absolutely her right to keep privacy. Anyways, she is in one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. Mother, Jugs, and Speed. Right? Mother, Jugs, and Speed. If you are an EMT and you haven't watched that movie, you never should have passed. The NREMT should revoke your license. You have like 3 days to watch it. Or else turn in your fucking ID badge. You know, you don't deserve to be in an ambulance. Great fucking movie. Harvey Keitel is a young kid. Bill Cosby, did I say Cosby? Bill Cosby smokes marijuana, drinks alcohol, and he curses a lot. And Raquel Welch. Bill Cosby is Mother. Raquel Welch is Jugs. And Harvey Keitel is Speed. So all I'll say, watch it. Fucking great movie. Now, Hayden Panettiere's younger brother, Jansen, sadly, has died at the age of 28. His cause of death was not immediately known, but no foul play was suspected. He is 5 years younger than her. The only reports have been that it was a cardiac issue. Not sure what caused it. there has been a rather large increase of young, healthy people dying of heart attacks or strokes. Not sure what could have caused that. No clue. I'm sure some people have some ideas, but we're not allowed to say that. Are we? All right, last one. Hate that this was the last one. Kelly Pickler, fantastic singer. She's really funny. I forget what group she was with. But she was on American Idol. Her husband, he took his own life, which is very sad. Absolutely heartbreaking. Kyle Jacobs, dead by suicide in his Nashville home. So, bottom of the screen, you will see the Veterans Crisis Line. You do not have to be a veteran to call that line. You can call for another veteran. You can call for yourself with no connection to the military at all. I know there are suicide hotlines. I always throw this one up because I have called this number myself and I was able to get hold of someone quickly. I had a very, very positive experience calling this number. So I'm going to leave that floating for a bit. But if you or anyone that you know is having suicidal thoughts or ideations, reach out. Get some help. I'm not saying that I have the answers or that anyone has the answers. But there are people that will try. And trying has a much better chance of success than giving up. Get help. All right. I know I started out super negative. So, let me go on to say Jake Paul had a boxing match where he fought against a professional boxer. His first time fighting a professional boxer. And Jake Paul actually did pretty decent. He was sloppy. He was aggressive. His defense needs a lot of work, but he has a good chin. He has a good strong punch. He's a tough guy, and he was aggressive. So, to all the Jake Paul haters out there, dude earned a little bit of respect on that, I think. He clearly lost. It was an 8-round fight. He hands down lost 6 rounds easily. One could argue all 8 rounds, but I think he only lost 7 rounds. But that's okay. Against a much better fighter. Honestly, I was against this fight. Tommy Fury never should have taken this fight. He has everything to lose and nothing to gain, was my opinion on this. If he wins, then woo, professional boxer beats a YouTuber. Okay. But if he loses, his entire boxing career is over. He lost to a YouTuber. Um, so much pressure. Absolutely no reason he should have taken this fight. Hey, Infinity, there was no reason to take this fucking fight. No reason at all. But he did, and the pressure was intense. Uh, with a new kid, all the pressure in the world, being in many ways a nobody who's only known by the British audience for Love Island, and known by the American audiences because he's Tyson Fury's little brother who was feuding with a YouTuber. But he fought well. He was crisp. He was clean. He did a good job. He wasn't nearly aggressive enough. He clearly was holding back on power shots. He was just trying to point him. He played it very, very safe. And I believe a lot of that was lack of confidence. I believe if they do the rematch, I believe Tommy will be more aggressive, have more confidence, and go for more power shots. I imagine Jake Paul will be more conservative and less confident. But I don't know. I do hope Jake Paul continues to box. I hope he goes for a cruiserweight fight against a professional who's not super famous. You know, jump on the undercard of, tell you what, cut a deal. Tyson Fury's next fight, be on the undercard, fight a mid-level fucking cruiserweight boxer, either an older veteran or a young up-and-comer. Build up a little bit. I think yeah. That's what happens when you trim. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the Jake Paul fight? Should we take him a little more seriously now? Or is he still just some fucking YouTuber who's pretending to be a boxer? I don't know. I think he's not bad for the sport. I think he clearly is bringing a lot of attention. Let's see. How do I change? There we go. Let's make that font a little bigger. Yep, there we go. Much better. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. I think bringing attention to boxing is a good thing. I do think in many, many ways, boxing has been losing out to the UFC. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, the UFC is a bit of a monopoly. Like, I definitely would like to see less control by one company. It's like wrestling was better when you had competing companies. They made things better. Competition. Without the competition, things did get a little, more stale. And that's true of everything. There's no competition, then there's no reason to improve, only to maintain. So, hey. All right, now, I would like to discuss clean energy. That's right. Now, Clean energy is a very important topic for most everyone. Uh, whether you're an environmentalist and you believe that these fossil fuels are damaging the environment, or because you're an environmentalist and you think all these mining for the minerals used for electric uh, vehicles and whatnot is extremely, extremely dangerous and damaging to the environment. Um, or maybe you are a lover of nature and the wind farms' disastrous effect on bird migration is something that is near and dear to your heart. Or you're a heartless bastard and don't care about any of that stuff. You just don't like paying so damn much money every time you fill up your car. Like, damn it. Can I not fucking have to sign a bank loan just to drive to and from work every week? All of those are reasons to put everyone on the same side. Now, I know I am not completely unbiased. There is a clean energy source that is pretty safe called nuclear. However, better, much better, safer, cheaper, absolutely perfect in every way. Do, 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 do. I am going to show you the greatest invention of all time. This could solve everyone's problems. Nothing better. Nothing better. That's right. Do you know what this is? This is Dippy drinking bird. That's right. How is this going to solve the world's problems? Obviously, look at it. Right? Is he thirsty? Is he thirsty? Is he thirsty? Almost. Oh! Boom. See? He can never stop. Dippy drinking bird. Well, unless, you grab him with your hand and stop him. But, nature can never stop him. That's all I'm saying. So, Dippy drinking bird. The Edmund Scientific Company has been selling engineering, robotic, and astronomy supplies since 1942. But the bestseller and unofficial mascot is the Dippy drinking bird. That is right. You see, it reached new heights of popularity in 1995 during an episode of The Simpsons in which a 300-pound Homer sets Dippy in front of his keyboard to automate the monitoring of the nuclear plant. Now, in 1946, thermodynamics engineer and chemical hobbyist Miles Sullivan filed a technical illustration with the U.S. Patent Office for his version of a bird-shaped heat engine. The structure of the bird was comprised of two glass bulbs, one for the head and beak and jaunty hat and googly eyeballs, and another for the lower body and shakeable tail feathers, if you want to do it right. Now, originally, Dippy was clamped along the side of a water glass, But the balancing mechanism would later evolve into tall stork-like legs upon which the glass bulbs were balanced and perched. Variations include ducks, giraffes, but the mechanics of the device, they always remain constant. A thin glass tube connecting two bulbs from the inside extend down into the lower body, where it's dipped into a reservoir of freon-based liquid, which is now banned, or colored methylene chloride. This is the fluid that rises and falls to make Dippy bobble back and forth. Now, most of the air is vacuum sucked from the glass structure at the factory after the liquid is placed inside, of course. Although the head and upper part of the glass tube appear to be empty, they're actually full of active vaporous gas from the methylene chloride, which doesn't take much heat to turn from a vapor into a liquid, or vice versa. In the scientific community, it is called a latent heat of evaporation. Now, methylene chloride is also called dichloromethane. That's right, dichloromethane, which is CH2, Cl2, right? Now, for those chemistry cats, we're talking carbon, hydrogen 2, then chloride 2, right? Now, it is a volatile, colorless liquid with a chloroform-like odor. What does chloroform smell like? Trouble. It's used in various industrial processes in many different industries, including paint stripping, pharmaceutical manufacturing, paint remover manufacturing, metal cleaning and degreasing, and so forth. The most common means of exposure to methylene chloride is inhalation or skin exposure, i.e., your son or daughter smashes it against the windowsill and drinks the holiday fruit punch inside, which is not good. Anyways, the head bulb is slightly cooler than the body bulb. A temperature differential, of course, occurs. The methylene chloride turns from a liquid to a vapor, and as it rises up the glass tube, the vacuum action pulls the liquid up along with it, like a thermometer. When it nears the top, Dippy's head tips forward on the swing leg hinges, dunks his nose into a glass of water, and appears to drink. While the whole family sits around applauding and taking pictures, Dippy's red felt-covered beak, face, and head are absorbing water from the drinking glass. As the moisture evaporates from the fabric, the head becomes cooler than the body, and the internal pressures within the chamber become equalized. Vapor turns back into liquid, the liquid drops into the lower bulb, and Dippy's center of gravity pivots back to his normal, natural, upright position. Under the right conditions, Dippy can tipple and topple back and forth quickly, duking like there's no tomorrow. But don't try to be clever in front of your stupid friends and put alcohol-based beverages in Dippy shot glasses. The swinging pendulum motion of the body can accelerate the chaos of the liquid and vapor, and the evaporation from the head requires liquid no heavier than water. You can, however, trick him into drinking position by putting a lamp towards the bottom bulb. If you limit the penumbra from the light so Duppy's head remains cool, he'll go back and forth and even drink without a water glass for hours at a time. But exercise caution. Lamplight can produce excessive heat, and with too much heat, the glass will burst. One Dippy bird hack involves painting the body black so the body becomes warmer more quickly than the head. Now, in 1966, civil engineer and logistic experts R.B. Murrow developed an abstract study recommending that the possibilities of Dippy drinking bird heat engine be investigated to see if it could be further developed into a useful machine which performed low power requirement tasks in a primitive environment, such as the one addressing the Egyptian low water lift agricultural problem. You see, in the report, such an engine was described in considerable detail, direct experiment has shown that the Dippy drinking bird works best on small scale and does so particularly well under the arid climatological conditions of Egypt and many other underdeveloped countries. Using it to lift heavy paper clips, scientist Don Rathjen reported the successful extraction of nano horsepower of work. Basically, about a microwatt. Now, artist Daniel Reynolds spent 6 years and $20,000 developing his most brilliant work to date. A flock of 15 enormous Dippies, filling an entire art gallery. Each is 6.5 feet tall and 3,000 times heavier than the original Dippy. These birds are made of Pyrex glass and require a special vacuum attachment so the liquid can travel efficiently. The head of the Institute of Thermodynamics at the University of Stuttgart in Germany turned over all their research and development in order to assist with the project. Now, unfortunately, the art and science of Dippy the drinking bird were only a precursor to the cheaper, gimmicky hand boiler devices known as libido detectors. The looped and twisted glass sculptures containing a liquid which bubbles and churns like the tempest in a teacup with the heat from your bare hand. Once the bulbous end is out of your hands, it takes a few moments for the liquid to cool down. No delightful bird shape, no pointy beak, no pretty eyes or feathers. Just another example of the dumbing down and over pussification of America's youth. You can probably find hand boilers at the Walmart or Hallmark store next to the cat calendars. Now, Dippy drinking birds, while they are now hard to come by, you can still find them occasionally at magic shops. But now you're thinking, how am I saying this is a possible solution to the energy problem? You see, if you can use paper clips to generate microwatts, right? Think about a nice, safe environment, nice building full of these motherfuckers, all generating electricity, right? As they move up and down. Yeah. No different than hydroelectric plants, only nice boom, right? Why not? And sure, I'm not saying they all have to have the felt hats, and the beaks and the googly eyes and the feathers. I'm not saying they have to have that. But why wouldn't you? There you go. You are welcome, world. I have solved the energy crisis and fixed climate change. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't need you to sing my praises or make my birthday a national holiday. No. Just like and subscribe and follow me on my other platforms, and we'll call it even. Now, that being said, now that I have solved the world's problems, I am going to share a movie review that I recorded at a prior time. So, share system audio, opera tab. Now, this is over on Ramble. Let me go ahead and take all this down. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and you guys enjoy the movie review. Hey. So I had a brilliant idea. right? When I do my podcast, I sometimes have a drink. Now, when you drink, it is smart to chase. Helps out with hangovers. That's a lot of fluids. So sometimes you got to take a potty break. That's all right. I was recording some movie reviews and shit. And you know what? I would get wasted while doing them, just off the rails. Figured I could edit them down and make something entertaining. And use those for cutaways. Well, fuck that. Let's just make them Rumble exclusives. So if you're watching this video, you're watching it on Rumble. Hey. So, gonna talk about The Dark Knight Rises. Or, in Christian Bale's Batman voice, The Dark Knight Rises. This is probably gonna be a long one. So many side topics. Just to get it out in the open, everyone's going to be like, oh, which Batman is the best? The most common choices are Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. Now, Michael Keaton was a great Bruce Wayne and a pretty damn good Batman. And Christian Bale's pretty good Batman. Not very good as Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. I think the reason why so many people like Christian Bale's Batman is because he did a really good job. Had some issues. The Batman voice would have worked if it wasn't so different from Bruce Wayne. He tried way too hard to separate the two. I mean, I get it. But his Alfred, his, he actually had Commissioner Gordon to really fucking lean in on. Like, he was given much better material than any other Batman has. So, yes, he does a good job. He doesn't have to do a great job. He's got everything right around him. That being said, I got to give the edge to Michael Keaton. George Clooney is a good Bruce Wayne. He can do a good Bruce Wayne. I don't think he can do a good Batman. George Clooney is George Clooney. He'll never... You won't be able to separate the two. Val Kilmer is a great Batman. But his take on Bruce Wayne was so wrong. I would say the best Batman is Michael Keaton, but number 2 is not Christian Bale. It's Batfleck. Ben Affleck is a great Bruce Wayne. And he's a great Batman. If he never got his own movie, he was never given the opportunity, I would say Ben Affleck, his acting ability, his charisma, just overall, I'd say he is the best Batman. If you plug him into any of the Ben Affleck today, or, not young Ben Affleck, but take Ben Affleck and put him in, use a time machine, cast him in Tim Burton's the first two Batman with Tim Burton. He'd fucking nail it. and put him in Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, he'd fucking nail it. He's a fan, he's got charisma, and yeah. So, yeah, Ben Affleck, great Batman, wasn't given the chance. It's always going to be a what if. But we're talking about this movie, The Dark Knight Rises. And again, another side topic. Hate the title. Heath Ledger died before The Dark Knight came out. And I'm not a fan of his performance as a Joker because I can't watch it without seeing Tom Waits. He's impersonating Tom Waits. That's not bad. Tom Waits is fucking amazing. Love Tom Waits. But I can't watch Heath Ledger's Joker performance without going, man, Tom Waits would have been perfect. Obviously, Heath Ledger agrees. So yeah, I'm biased there. Still enjoy the movie a great deal. I think the fact that he died gave a big passionate fan base to The Dark Knight that exaggerated how good it was. Look at that. I was just talking and talking while muted because I'm an idiot. Oh, well. All right. So, as I was saying, if you want to catch the rest of that, please go to Rumble. Now, I'm not under the Doc J, the Rambling Doc J. Nope, I want something a little different. It is the Drunk Libertarian. Now, everything I post on the Tube of You goes to Rumble. Not everything I post on Rumble goes to YouTube. I am going to be doing more and more on Rumble. I've got another 4 videos prepped that'll be uploading very soon. And if you want to catch them, you should check them out. I will be throwing little clips here and there. Also, fun little job offer. Anyone that's interested, you should hit me up on Twitter. I am looking to start cutting down my podcast into clips and posting those, as well as doing thumbnails and trying to do Instagram. I hate Instagram with a passion. I will never log on to that motherfucker again. Hopefully. But anyone that might be interested in doing Instagram and editing down my podcast to some clips, I would very much be interested in talking to you. So hit me up on Twitter. Links are, you might, if you're watching this on Facebook, message me there. I might possibly answer. If you're catching this on the Tube of You, look up, and my links are there. Same thing if you're watching on Odyssey, Library, BitChute, Rumble, any of those. I do still get the most views on YouTube. But yeah. Now that I've saved the world's problem with climate change, came up with cheap, reusable energy source, and I gave you a preview. There is a house fire. Not here at all. There's a small fire in the Philippines, in Cebu. Everyone is fine. It was a kid with mental disabilities was playing with fire, and his house went up. But the mother and both children got out, and it did not spread to any of the neighbors. So, fantastic news that everyone's okay. It's not fantastic news that someone's house went up in flames. That's awful. I hope it's still livable. But yeah, gave you a Rumble exclusive, gave you free energy. Now I'm going to give happy news. Then I'm going to do my little educational ramble. Then I will pop off on a couple topics and then close out the stream. So let's get on with it. Now, there was a marathon that was blocking the delivery route of an organ donation. This could only happen in colonial America, not time-wise. I mean, New England cities like Boston or Philadelphia. Lost the Super Bowl. But yeah, in a story that could only live in colonial cities of America's East, a surgeon ran a mile to and from the hospital to pick up a liver for his patient after a courier's route was blocked by the Philadelphia strange grid system and thousands of marathon runners. 66-year-old Charles Rowe was waiting on an operating table with his surgeon, Adam Bodson. He was slated for a liver transplant that day to save his life from complications due to hepatitis C. That's rough. I'm glad we made so many big breakthroughs in that. Time ticked by until Rowe was surprised to hear that Bodson was going out the door to get the liver himself. Meanwhile, an out-of-town van driver for Philly-based Gift of Life donor program was having trouble negotiating the one-way streets, half-blocks, diagonals of Philadelphia's stupid city layout. When it became clear that his route to Thomas Jefferson University Hospital would be blocked by the Dietz and Watson Philadelphia half marathon at not one, but two different spots. Event organizers and police have access points for emergencies going toward the hospital, but even after consulting with the Popo, it was difficult and time-consuming to get there. Why they couldn't just fucking wave them through. It's Philadelphia. Just look into Hitchbot and you'll understand why Philly sucks. Or batteries being thrown at Santa Claus. I mean, there's nothing good about Philadelphia other than losing the Super Bowl. Reaching the driver and taking the sealed container with liver on ice, Surgeon Adam Bodson, at full run from 11th and Chestnut Streets through a stream of runners on Lombard Street and then to South Street. Reaching the driver, taking the sealed container with the liver on ice, he zigzagged the same way, earning what must have been more than a few curious stares before hitching a ride with the police back to the hospital on the other side of the marathon route. Thanks to his quick thinking, they managed to transplant the liver successfully an hour after the time when a liver begins to deteriorate. Damn. Rowe made a full recovery and left the hospital 6 days later. Rowe called Bodson a hero, although Bodson, while speaking to the Philadelphia Inquirer, said, "No, I'm more of a biker." Fantastic. What I want to know is, why did this surgeon run, right? Why didn't he send an orderly? Then again, the surgeon is probably the only one that's had a decent night's sleep. Your orderlies and your nurses and these motherfuckers don't get any sleep. You work them too hard and you pay them too little. Except for RNs. RNs get paid just right. It's the LPNs that get fucked. Actually, RNs get fucked too. But LPNs get fucked a little harder. By the way, I am not an RN. I do have my LPN. And I am No, I think my license as an EMT ran out. But I can't pass the physical. I'm a worthless cripple these days. Oh, I don't know if the mic picks up all that cracking and popping, but there's a lot of it. I am glad it worked out. I'm going to pretend the dude's not from Philadelphia. He was just stuck there for the surgery. And that, some Philadelphia person lost their liver to a out-of-towner. I kid. Speaking of terrible fucking cities, Lori Lightfoot will not be mayor of Chi-Town. That's right, the Windy City, the second city for the first time in over 40 years, did not re-elect an incumbent mayor. Didn't even make it to the runoff. She sucks. She's an authoritarian fascist. Anybody who knows why Chicago is called the Windy City, throw it in the comments. All the different platforms have comments in different places, I think. Mostly they're there. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. Do. All right. One little drink of lemonade. And swallow it, chase it with, obviously you got to chase it with electrolyte infused fruit juice, because I am a healthy person. For being a worthless cripple, that is. Now, I want to talk about Franz Kafka, or Franz Kafka. Everyone pronounces it differently. It's not, I'm not as much a dick about it as I am like Max Weber. When I was in college, the first time, uh, I was working towards a sociology degree, and one of the professors kept talking about Max Weber, and I just got more and more pissed. I'm like, it's Max Weber. I was young. I was like I was mid 20s. But yeah, it's Max Weber. Max Weber. Uh, it's not that you're an idiot for getting it wrong, but if you're the professor teaching the class, you should know how to pronounce the names. I guess I am a dick. Anyways, Franz Kafka. A quick little biography on him. Born on the 3rd of July, 1883 in Prague. Died on the 3rd of June, 1924 in Kierling, Austria. Best known and world-renowned representative of Prague German literature. Even though Prague's not in Germany, but it's still German. Not in the Third Reich way. I mean, in the culture. Shut up. One of the most significant fiction writers in the 20th century's world of literature. After graduating in law from Prague's German University, he worked as an official in 2 insurance associations between 1907 and 1922. He regarded writing as his main purpose in life and found it hard to reconcile it with his work at the office, which he performed conscientiously. Now, he fell ill with a lung disease in 1917 and battled in vain with the illness for 7 years. He was self-critical about his literary output, releasing only a small segment for publication. Almost all of it was unwillingly. The majority of his works, the part which was to ensure his international reputation, was published from his estate because his closest friend, Max Brod, defied his last wishes. See, Franz entrusted everything to his best friend, Max Brod, and he begged him on his deathbed, made him promise to burn all of his manuscripts. Thankfully, he did not. That is why we have his fantastically, awfully, horrifically awesome texts. They are a mix of sci-fi and philosophical, realistic. It's just the rabbit hole. Frederick Knudsen, do a video on this dude. Like, please. By the way, if you haven't checked out Down the Rabbit Hole, Frederick Knudsen, you are truly missing out. So many of them that are good. Really just watch all of them. Anyways, now I want to read something from JSTOR. Justor. It's journal storage, right? They are a fantastic place. They are free. They really give writers, scientists, I mean, they give people an opportunity to really preserve their works. And they have some good, interesting articles. It really is a wonderful place, full of many rabbit holes. And I found that I would like to I really would like to do a movie someday. And this one is near the top of my list. Hey, I updated on the stream about the fire and said that everyone's okay. If any of that changes, let me know. please. Yeah, I know. Although, this right here, right? It's a rehab cross. Ah. Now, I've seen them in 4 different states that I've lived in. They got these dudes that are like chilling outside Walmart or Target. They're chilling outside this place. And they're quite often sketchy looking people. And they are selling jewelry or birthday cards or various things, right? And it's like, okay, and something like, Christ for crackers or whatever it is, right? Well, I'm down in what? Tucumari? No. I'm down in New Mexico, outside Roswell. And I'm just like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're selling jewelry. Yes, I know. Why? For who? Uh, we're in rehab. And what we do is they take us in the middle of the desert and we're far away from everyone. No one's sneaking drugs in or nothing. And, to keep us busy, we either read the Bible or we do arts and crafts. We make things, we do this. And what do you do with money? We buy pizza. We obviously a lot of it goes to paying the bills of the rehab, this and that. And, it's a free program. It's like, huh, okay. And pop back in a couple times. They're there for like a week. Really talk to them. And man, I got sucked in. So then, fast forward 305 years later, 2 states later, running these bastards again. Not same bastards, but similar setup. I'm like, hey, what's going on? You connected to such and such? I'm not saying the name. Yeah. It's like, oh, cool. Chit chat, talk to them. And it's like, yeah. So I generally try to buy one of those little cross things. I almost always, I've got mine and I buy them and give them away to people. Uh, while I am a big fan of legalizing drugs, I'm a big fan of people getting drunk, getting high, getting laid, doing their thing. I'm not a fan of addiction. Um, if you want to go get messed up and party, good for you. If you don't want to and you're struggling with giving it up, I am more than willing to throw $10 on a table a few times a year. But yeah, if I ever do come across one that I absolutely, then I'll end up becoming a patron and, donating more more often. But, you see these panhandlers or the poor and needy people on the street with signs and shit. Ran into one down in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Dude just sitting there with a dog. And I'm like, hey, you hungry? He's like, yeah. All right, cool. Got any allergies? No. Went in, got him a burger from Burger King, got his dog a burger from Burger King, got 2 things of fries, got him a drink, and yeah, brought it out, gave it to him, and he starts fucking taking the lid off the drink to give it. I'm like, no, stop. I got a gallon of water in the trunk of the car, It's not cool. It's in the trunk of the car. It's hot, but nah, man. I'm making you take that. You drink that. Let the fucking dog drink the water with you. It's fucking hot, dude. I was out, honestly, less than $7. Uh, and no regrets. Worst case scenario, I fed someone. Whereas I'm not that comfortable giving cash. Probably because I'm a dick. Now, Franz Kafka. I want to make a movie based on this novel. Now, this is not the movie. This is an article about the movie. And I'm going to read it from JSTOR. They are a wonderful, wonderful place. Please check them out. Great stuff. Franz Kafka's The Trial. It's funny because it's true. Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Really, those are the only two options. Oh, there we go. Not much better, but fuck it. I'll go with it. No, honestly, I like this better. Elizabeth Winterhalter wrote this a few years ago. 3-4 years ago. If Franz Kafka's novel, The Trial, first published in 1925, a year after its author's death, Joseph K. is arrested, but can't seem to find out what he's accused of. As K navigates a labyrinth, this must be English, not American, because labyrinth is spelled different. Labyrinth network of bureaucratic traps, a dark parody of the legal system. He keeps doing things that make him look guilty. Eventually, his accusers decide he must be guilty, and he is summarily executed. As Kafka puts it in the second to last chapter, The Cathedral, the proceedings gradually merge into the judgment. Spoiler alert. It doesn't change. It's not necessarily the verdict that has you. Oh, fuck my leg. On the seat of your pants. No, it is this complete bullshit fucking mess you stagger through. But what makes it so fantastic is Kafka, the way he writes, right? His restrained prose is the secret ingredient that makes a boring ass story about a bank clerk navigating bureaucracy into a page turner. It's like the dramatic irony. As novelist David Foster Wallace noted in his essay, Laughing with Kafka. This is Kafka's whole shtick. And it's what makes him so funny. By withholding knowledge from the protagonist and the reader, he dangles the promise that all will be revealed in the end. But with every sentence the reader takes in, it feels increasingly likely that the reasons for Kay's arrest is going to remain a secret. Now, as it follows its tragic path deeper into Kay's insular, menacing, and creepy sexualized world, it gradually becomes clear that the answer, in fact, is hinted at the narrator's ignorance at the very beginning. Someone must have slandered Joseph K. For one morning without having done anything wrong, he was arrested. Why the conjecture about what must have happened unless the narrator, who relates the story in the past tense, doesn't know? The ignorant sets up the humor during certain particular insane moments in Kay's journey. The frustration of not knowing why he's enduring it all becomes unbearable. At which point, there is no choice but to laugh. Now, those that know me in the real world, not as this talking head on the interwebs, I was going to say a handsome talking web on the interwebs, but no, I'm not drunk enough to believe that yet. I used to be a stage actor, quite well respected one, in fact. I once did a world premiere of a Brian Buffkin play. Real story. It's apparently not that impressive to people these days, but there was a time where I'm like, yeah, did a world premiere of a Brian Buffkin. You know, I had dinner with the playwright, and, you know, my take on his character made him cry in sadness and pride. Although the pride was in how well he wrote the character, not in how well I did. But the fact that I took this whole fucking left field, fucking different take on the way he wrote it, and he's like, and it still worked. Like, you see this person entirely different than I do. Like, yeah, I don't see him as the bad guy. He's the victim. Only, wow. I guess he would think that. Yeah, he would. It's getting dicked over here, man. But yeah. I am awful. I am terrible. I am menacing. I'm a violent, vicious person who enjoys the humiliation and pain of others. And there's this part where I lose it. I have just been embarrassed for the final time. And I am now going to murder someone. I have no choice. I have to do it. I've been humiliated. It's the only way I can conserve my dignity. Then I murder this person, and as I present their body to the audience, it's hilarious. It's funny. It's silly. Everyone's just laughing their ass off. Right? It's a rather dark comedy because it's done in a unusual, farcical manner. So the audience laughs and laughs and laughs. Now, I've got a take on comedy. You see someone walking, they slip in the snow and they fall down. Is it funny? Okay. It's a hoity-toity man in a business suit. Hilarious. It's a baker with a cake. Ah, funny. It's an old woman on a walker. Yeah. It's a little kid. Possibly funny. Depends on if they cry or not. Now, are they injured? I mean, someone slips and falls and goes boom. Yeah. It's a bride in her wedding dress and it's ruined. Probably not as funny. as some banker on his way or a politician with a speech, right? I mean, it all depends. Really, the straighter you play it, the more serious you take it, the funnier I think it is. Why is Will Ferrell so much funnier than Adam Sandler? To me, Will Ferrell plays it serious. What do you mean? Gator don't play that. Whereas Adam Sandler, in his earlier career, it was all wink and nod. Here's a funny gag. Oh, penguin. The serious, Mr. Bean is not funny at all. I'm sorry, Rowan Atkinson is not funny at all. Everyone that knows him is like, yeah, he's a very serious person. Like, he's not funny. I mean, you know, he's serious, he's lovable, he's kind, he's empathetic. Like, and he'll be the first to say, I'm not a comedian. I play it very seriously. The situation's funny, not me. That's always been my take. So while I'm wheeling this body out to show to the audience, yeah, I'm like the only one of two people that gets to break the fourth wall. And they're laughing, right? Except there's a few people. Because, see, I am just devastated. I am broken. I lost my cool and composure. The one thing that I don't do. I'm always trying to present myself. And, yeah, fucking breaks. So I'm just this broken person putting up a front and everyone's laughing. It's so funny. But there's just a few people that are just crying. And then there's a couple people. This one girl in particular, I don't know who she is, never met her. I just remember her in the audience. She was so angry and just so hurt that I killed this person. She clearly related to this person. Like, she saw this as her, and she looked at me like I murdered her best friend. Like I kicked her puppy. She looked at me with so much hatred. I mean, you could just see it in her face. And that made me more proud. You could have had 1,000 people laughing, and it would have, actually, there probably was close to 1,000 people. You could have had 10,000 people laughing, and it would not have added up to 1/10 as important as that one chick who she wanted to fucking murder me. I have never seen some stranger hate me that much. It was glorious. It's when I knew. And that is how Kafka writes. It's hilarious, or it's devastating. Like the author, and damn it, I already closed it. Can't quote the name now. Marianne, I'm pretty sure that's wrong. You laugh because you have no choice, no other choice. I tend to laugh at things that are serious and bad, hurtful. And again, those that know me, outside of being a talking head, I always say, sometimes you gotta laugh or you gotta cry. I look better laughing. Gonna wrap all this up with, possibly wrap it up. You got to find your Ben Affleck moment. And I've been saying this for, God, 20 years, maybe 25 years. Probably about 23 years. One of the most important movies in my life is a movie called Chasing Amy. And not a big spoiler, but spoiler if a minor detail is going to make you not watch the movie, fuck you. Ben Affleck is in love with this person, this female, but because of her past, her history, her sexual orientation, and so many other things, he is her best friend. She loves him, but she can't be with him, right? Yes, I farted. So they're out on this pseudo date, as Jason Lee calls it. And he just decides to confess his love. Tells her how much he loves her, how much she matters. And he gives this beautiful fucking speech. And she responds with a blistering, vicious attack on him. I mean, he confesses his love and makes himself super vulnerable. And she reacts by just fucking every bit of fear and apprehension and anger that she has built up over the last however long. She unloads it all and she aims it at him. I mean, it is brutal. Right? To see someone fucking rip his heart out of his chest and hand it to the person he loves. And she wipes her ass with it. She's fucking vicious. She is brutal. She is so fucking awful. And then she opens the car door and gets out. I mean, this is just, emotions are running so high. And it's like, fuck me. And Ben Affleck looks over. I don't think he looks at the camera, but he looks like over where she was sitting, kind of at the camera. And he says, was it something I said? And that shit just hysterical laughter, right? I saw it in theater first time. And the fucking KKK Star Wars thing, big laugh. Wasn't a new movie when I saw it in theater. Saw it on a indie art house fucking college campus kind of thing. And the laughter, it's like, it made me fucking laugh until tears were in my eyes. Just funniest thing I'd ever come across my entire life. Why? Why is that funny? Well, it's not funny. It's, you have built up all this emotion, all these feelings. You got to let them out. And a half-assed joke. Boom. It's supposed to be a... but you have so much built up that the comes out. You know? It's like farting with diarrhea. That's what I call the Ben Affleck moment. Which sounds nicer than a shark moment. Sometimes you gotta laugh or cry. I generally enjoy laughter better. But yeah, that's my take. Anyways, right about time now. If you are interested in doing the Instagram thing or the clipping the podcast thing, hit me up. I'm not super difficult to find. Twitter's probably easiest. If you want to see the rest of my Batman video, check out Rumble. I do hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful week. No matter how bad it is, at least you don't live in Philadelphia.